Anyway.
I mean, I'm the same way with Mega Man. I'm planning on doing like a whole lore video on Mega Man
Oh
shit.
man, I got a remix I want to play you really bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. So what was I explaining about Sonic this time?
Sat
The
AM
final
is...
nail in the coffin for me for Sonic Underground is that Ben Hurst, who was one of the writing staff for Sat AM, who was personally involved in trying to revive the show, got brought on as a writer, but not as a lead, as like I think he was just like one of the script writers. So
Yeah.
you had a significant portion of the crew, you had a budget, and instead of continuing this wild story that had gained a following amongst adults as well as children, you just say, hey, let's start again with all of a lot of the same ingredients, but somehow way worse.
Yeah.
And like, oh, have you seen that one shot of Knuckles going to fall off a cliff?
Yes! Oh, but that's like used as a Twitter meme like near constantly.
Yeah, if you want an example of everything not to do when you are following a model sheet or you are like the storyboards are bad. Like it's and Sonic is suddenly huge. And then
I was just thinking, what if we call this video, instead of like talking about Sonic 2, Did You Know Gaming Sonic the Hedgehog?
Did you know?
Did you know? Sonic's penis is about this long.
Did you know? Robotnik is a feminist.
Wait, that's true!
Yes, it is. That's the sad part about all of my jokes, is that I go to reach out for a random Sonic fact, I'm like, wait, I can find a true one instead. I can't tell any jokes. I'm stuck! It's a curse, I tell you!
That is amazing.
Sir,
I'm so glad I brought you on tonight.
do you want to hear about what happened with Archie?
Yes.
Alright, so a long time ago, they figured the guys who write for the Alf comic adaptation were a good fit for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my god.
And this was in like early 1992. I'm not saying because I was like
a year
conscious.
before I was born.
I read up on this when I was planning on making a big essay about it. But they got him on. I think David Manak, I think, or maybe he was one of the writers. But anyway, they were like used to writing gags, as you would, because you're writing for Alf, who is ostensibly a comedian from outer space. That's his character. And they around that time, they were planning one Sonic cartoon, and they'd already put out like some localization guides for North America, like, oh, here's Sonic and his friends, and I guess there's like a chipmunk, and her name is Sally, and she could be like his girlfriend instead of Madonna, because that would be really fucking weird.
Yeah.
And they started off with that, but then something very strange happened. Two of the guys who were happy to work with what they had pitched the show that they had to ABC, and ABC said, no, we're not going to run that. The show then got moved to another network, and it became Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. But the two guys who were like working on some of the like more lore-heavy stuff, they decided, no, we're going to pitch to ABC again, but we're actually going to give the script a lot of treatment. We're going to bring in some writers, we're going to workshop it. I think this has like superhero potential, and that's where we get Sonic Sat AM, or like the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon show from. So immediately, the characterization splits in half, and that's not even taking into account that Sega explicitly told its international departments, hey, make him whoever he needs to be cool in your region. So, whoever your Sonic is might not be your friend's Sonic or your neighbor's Sonic. But they're all, valid Sonics.
Like, people who read UK Sonic the comic got a completely different Sonic from, like, every other Sonic.
A Sonic who is kind of mean to Tails, like he's a bit of a bully.
Yeah.
It's weird to me, because someone I went to the movie with is actually from England, and they were expecting that relationship between Sonic and Tails, but it was way wholesome, and I loved it, and...
Yeah, the difference in reaction you get from, like, different Sonic fans is, like, way more intense than, like, oh, he doesn't have green eyes debate.
He does have green eyes. It's just that you couldn't see them because the resolution on a Mega Drive...
he was born with them!
Actually, on the Mega Drive, Super Sonic has green eyes, so it's straight up Super Saiyan. That's it.
Oh.
So they have the Alpha Rider guy, and they have the early pre-production work from the single Sonic the Hedgehog show, which is cartoonish in nature, but features Sally Acorn.
Right, yeah.
And then the show, they start putting out the comics, and of course the comics don't take as long as a cartoon to produce. The comics start coming out with Pink Sally. Actually, at the start, it's Blonde Sally with, like, dark fur. Then,
I remember that.
Yeah, then they change to early pilot Princess Sally, who has the pink fur. And that, I think, that's what let them get away with saying that saying that Amy Rose was Princess Sally on the Sonic CD American manuals. Because there's a little story in there about Sonic and Princess Sally that ties in with that whole localization.
Yes!
Yeah, you
I was
did
about
it!
to
Look
get
at
a
you
game
go!
over. I was about to get a game over, but I got an extra life.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I get a game over, we're starting, like, all over again.
Oh,
You
no!
gotta remember.
You gotta
remember all
rings.
those factoids.
You gotta get more rings, Mitch.
Yeah.
If
Let's see if I can get to 200. Oh, no. I hate these platforming sections.
So then, after the pilot, they switch to Brown Sally Acorn. And...
No!
Oh boy.
My mouse stopped working for some reason.
You're using a mouse?
Yeah.
You don't have an Xbox 360 controller handy?
I mean,
You
I
didn't
do,
think of it. Oh my
It
god.
didn't occur to me. I love first-person shooters.
Dude,
I don't play
yeah, I see you
football
playing
games a
Overwatch all the time. Like,
Yeah,
anytime
no,
I see you on Discord, it's like...
I'm not even
playing
good at Overwatch. I just like it.
It's your comfort game, yeah.
It's my comfort game.
I
and
do
then
wish it
people in the
wasn't
chat
tied
get...
to a problematic company, but I would
Oh,
not deny
yeah.
you your comfort game.
Look, I'm not getting a ticket to the new Harry Potter movie.
Good.
I think I've fulfilled my quota on social justice.
A, don't support JK, and B, it's gonna be bad.
It's a bad movie, yeah.
It's a bad movie. Don't go see it. So, they moved on to Brown Sally, and then
Brown bricks.
I think it was actually after season 1 of Sat AM Sonic that they finally changed Sally from pink to brown in the comics, because I lined up a big timeline of events, because I needed to know what was going on. This was around the time Ken Penders joined the writing team. And Ken was saying, hey guys, this is a pretty good comic, it's got the characters, but the show's got a way different turn now, and a lot of people are really into that. So how about we lean that way? And a couple of writers went, yeah, maybe? And a couple of writers went, alright, you can have the spin-off, you can write for Princess Sally. Is Sonic okay? He's staring at me like I owe him something.
My mouse. It died.
Oh, your mouse... Not only do you not have a controller, but you are also using a battery-operated mouse that wasn't charged for this Let's Play.
You keep talking.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna plug in my Xbox controller, see if that helps.
Hello there, lovelies. Let me fill your ears with some succulent Sonic knowledge. So anyway, they move on to using Brown Sally in the comics after the cessation of Season 1 of the Sonic Sat-AM show. So in the cultural consciousness, people are aware of the Sat-AM show, it gets a few reruns, and so Ken starts pushing to drag the comic in that direction. So he brings on one of the artists who worked on the character art for the show to do some comic issues. And they do... the first issue that features Brown Sally actually has in the back of it a tie-in bonus story that is the beginning of Princess Sally's spin-off miniseries. And the tonal shift between what had been the comic up until then, like, this is a comic with Sonic and Tails on the cover, speeding onto it saying, we just checked all the other books on this rack, this is the one that you want. Really, you know, Looney Tunesy, fourth wall breaking stuff. Suddenly to Princess Sally, you must come with us. This heretofore unseen character who has been looking after us, like, teenagers in the woods while we hide from a war criminal and become child soldiers, is dying. And they literally start off that subplot by having this mother figure we've never seen before die in front of Princess Sally and send her on a mission to, like, infiltrate one of Robotnik's lairs. It becomes this arc of, like, subterfuge and spy shit. It's you get whiplash going from, like, the front of the book is full of gags, the back of the book is Metal Gear Solid. What the hell is going on? But they quarantine...
Which character should I play?
You can try. What characters are there? You got Shadow, Knuckles, Blaze. No Tails.
That's it. No Tails, just
No
Shadow,
ta-
Knuckles, and Blaze.
You put,
I know, right? I
put
said the same thing!
Blaze in, but you don't put Tails in.
They needed that
Knuckles.
sex appeal. Alright.
I got this.
Do I look like I need your power?
Do I look like I need your flower?
I look like I need a hot shower. You know, 'cause
I'm gonna be gone for an hour.
So, and this is also where Ken introduces his stand-in character, Jeffrey St. John, the skunk, who was in, who we later found out through a Rowling-style tweet that, these kids are knocking boots, and he's like, he was of age when the kingdom got taken over, and that was 6 years ago, when Sally was like 9, and then and then Ken is like, oh, big deal, no biggie, but like, Jeffrey St. John took Sally's virginity. Bro, he was a soldier when she was like 9 years old. Why are you proud of this? Like,
yeah, that's nuts.
how can you type that into... How can you think that's acceptable in the age that Twitter exists and tweet that out? Like, as soon as Twitter came into being, you should have been like,
What?
you know what, that's not going to be a good tweet to make. So you got that subplot with Princess Sally, and they quarantine it in the Princess Sally miniseries for 3 issues, and then it kind of comes back after a bit as, the back of the Sonic book.
Yeah.
But following that, like, when she returns from that mission, something's kind of changed within the Sonic book. Like, Sonic and Tails are coming back from an adventure, and it's a bit more Saturday morning in nature, and he brings on, I don't know at what point Pat Spaziente started doing covers, but he brings the artwork up to a whole new level. The problem is, though, they've got a couple of these writers who are on board with this direction. They got a couple who only have ever been writing, like, gag strips and comedy. That's what they're good at. Like, I'm not belittling their craft. I'm saying that these are not compatible things, necessarily.
Yeah.
One skill set does not necessarily translate, no matter how well developed it is, because plot-based writing is a lot different to gag-based writing. And so you get weird shit like, oh, there's espionage going on in this Princess Sally comic book, and there's like a little bit of romance and some like swashbuckling, and like there's some interdimensional stuff and some pathos when they finally meet Uncle Chuck, and he's still a robot, but they need to save him. And then they have Pat Spaziente draw the promotional art for something they're calling Supersonic versus Hyper Knuckles. Yeah, they had all this serious shit leading up to the promotion of this book, but then the only writer and artist pair who were available to do the final showdown with Supersonic and Hyper Knuckles is the gag writer and the gag artist. So you have all this Dragon Ball style build-up for what turns into 2 guys pulling their hair and making puns at each other. It's the literary equivalent of gaslighting, because you go through it all, it doesn't make any sense. Who's this jerky? What is this Sonic doing in the serious book? And then you go back, and there's like, I think it was issue 25 with Metal Sonic. Like, you've got Spaziente's drawing, which is defined and like, really, really nice looking and very good for action. It's very 3-dimensional, and you think, oh, this will be one of the series books. No, Dave Manak wrote it, so every other line is a really terrible pun. So that's weird. And then the Saturn TV show ends, and Ken decides, you know what? I'm gonna write the ending of the show, because my kid really likes this comic, and so he has Sonic framed for Princess Sally's murder.
Jesus!
Yeah. Robotnik.
And this is the guy that drew the really big, weird, not at all, like, flip your goddamn art eyes.
Yeah. And on the way to this point, by the way, Ken has been, and it's rich that he should want to sue people, because almost everything in the Knuckles spin-off stories and in the the Sonic stuff that he wrote is pulled from D&D, and like Mammoth Mogul is just Vandal Savage. Don't at me. He's just Vandal Savage as a furry. Down to the origin, even. It's exactly the same. And And like the powers he gives Sonic are pulled straight out of the Flash. He's just drawing upon what he knows. I'm not gonna say you can't draw on like other characters for inspiration. I'm gonna say if you're gonna like raise a stink because Avengers Endgame is called Endgame, and then say I did it first. I'm like, no one gets framed in Endgame. It's not the same story. Do you understand? I'm peeking my microphone. I will die mad about this.
I will die on this hill.
Yep. So Ken pushes the comic in weird, inappropriate, tonally dissonant ways. Eventually, they sort of lose some of their good artists for a bit, especially during the Sonic Adventure adaptation. They get David Lim, who is not an anthro artist. I would struggle to call him a good human artist, even, but he just, you know, it looks like Sonic's eyes are actually a pair of goggles, and he's not wearing them properly. I think that's around the time we had the Boo Down with Furries panel as well.
Oh my god.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it up on the thing so the lovelies at home can see it. There you Boo! Down with Furries! So eventually, Ian Flynn, who gets scouted onto the Archie team from writing fan comics, gets pulled onto the team. And Ken, I don't think, likes that because, well, people like Flynn's writing, and he writes for Ken's characters. And Ken had pretty much been the guy. Like, for all the criticisms we can levy at Ken, it was the right decision to try to lead the Archie comics into the lore of the Saddam cartoon. Like, it was a good fit. And there are actually a lot of cool storylines in there, heavily referencing and lifted from other literary works, but you know, it does actually capture the spirit of some of the characters, except he makes the Echidna people an allegory for England, and they're clearly meant to be like an islander people. I mean, like, a black islander people. And then Ken sues the companies after, like, someone implies that there's an Echidna tribe in the main games, or in the BioWare RPG. And he's like, no, I'm gonna sue! And Archie's like, that's dumb. Hang on a sec, we're dealing with another lawsuit. We'll be right back. And Ken's like, He's checking his watch. He's hanging on. He's like, yep, I'm not gonna raise this issue again, but my lawsuit is here. My lawyer is here. And Archie's like, okay, we're gonna need... Hey, Sega, could you... Sega to Archie, deal with it. Do not come to me and make me spend lawyer money in your country because someone you hired is suing you. This is your problem.
Deal with it.
Yeah, because it's an international case at that point, so... Unfortunately, Archie dealing with
I just love the idea of it being like, you never spoke with us.
Yeah.
This conversation never happened.
Basically. I think it's a truncation, but you know, I'm trying to be brief as stupid as that sounds.
An abridged, exaggerated version of like really complex.
Yeah, call it the hyperbolic cliff notes.
Yeah.
And because they lapsed on the statute for Ken lodging his claim, it goes through by default. It doesn't go through on the merits of him being correct. It goes through because no one showed up, and so he was awarded the rights by default. And after that, that was around the time of the Mega Man crossover, which Ian Flynn took as an opportunity to soft reboot the universe and remove everything he ever made in it. They culled all the characters that he wrote for and went, all right, Ken, you win. We'll kill off everybody. Ken was hoping that they'd give him, like, 10 grand a year to use his characters. Fuck off, Ken!
Yeah,
no one's doing that! You think Sega wants to waste money paying to use characters they paid you to write for? And that's why we can't have nice things in Sonic Prime. I'm hoping we get a couple of continuity Sonic. Like, how cool would it be to see Boom Sonic meet main game Sonic?
That would be so cool. I'd love like classic, main, Boom, and then like
movie
they could
Sonic?
do like what the Flash did, yeah, and have like movie Sonic like pop in.
Well,
although I'm a little bit concerned about the upcoming Flash movie.
I would be. Ezra Miller's a mess.
Yeah, God, damn. They could not have picked a worse guy for Flash, honestly.
I've never looked at him and thought, there's a Barry Allen type. As much as, like, I don't like the CW Flash show anymore, Grant Gustin, he's a great fit for that part. He's good casting.
Yeah, Grant Gustin, the guy himself, is like really likable.
Love
and, like,
that
really
guy.
Cool, and the first few seasons of the show were amazing.
I think
then it goes like to shit.
I think the problems were always there, but they grew over time. But my assertion is there were always problems with the show. Doesn't make it mean that you can't enjoy. Doesn't mean it's not an enjoyable show. But the problems grew unchecked and pushed it further away from being a show about a guy with super speed and further into being a CW drama. And that's not what I bought a ticket for. So I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.